All right, what's going on, everyone? You might have clicked on this video because you have one of these, a Magicycle cruiser bike, and I've been kind of complaining about the brakes on it, saying that they could be a little bit better. I did try changing out the brake pads to see if that would help with the noise and to give it more stopping power. It didn't really have an effect, I don't think. So I took it a step further. So to take action on this and try to fix them a little bit, I went out and bought these. So these Juin Tech R1 hydraulic calipers. So it's still a cable pull, but the calipers got like hydraulic fluid in it, I guess. And I'm hoping that will give it a stronger squeeze and improve the braking, right? So let me show you what I got. All right, so I'll throw the price on the screen of how much these cost, but this is what you get in the kit. They give you two discs, which they're 160 millimeter discs, and I believe this bike has 180s. So I'm gonna leave the 180s on, and you get two of the calipers and two like adapter pieces here, which I'm not sure if I'm going to use these or just keep the original adapter things on there. I don't know, but this is what you get in the little kit. It's pretty nice looking, actually. And we're going to try slapping these babies on there. I'm going to show you how I do it and see if it helps the braking performance any. And if so, then you guys can potentially do it to your Magicycle as well and improve the braking. So that's what we got on tap for today. I'm going to pull this in the shed and get started on it. And notice that hiding in the background. If you haven't seen the Pee Wee bike video yet, go check that out. It's a lot of fun. All right, well, step one, let's take this original caliper off of here. This is a 5 millimeter Allen wrench. And we're gonna loosen these two bolts. They're kind of tight here, geez. So one there and then one down here. Wow, those are really tight. Holy cow. Woo! Very tight. All right, so you just got these bolts here holding it in, and this little adapter piece, which the kit came with new ones of these, so I'm not sure if I should use the new ones or reuse these old ones. We'll see. They looked pretty identical though. So here is your original brake caliper. This is what we're going to remove. So I guess I need to take this cable out of here. So it looks like we just take this out of here. That's probably really tight. Let's do it this way. Woo, buddy. Snapped on me. There we go. Okay. So we release this cable out of here so we can thread it through the new caliper, right? Looks like I might have to take this end cap off to get that thing. This little silver end piece that goes over the cable to keep it from fraying. I had to remove that to take this piece off, unfortunately, because it went through that little hole. But now this is free, so we should be able to just pull the caliper right off the brake cable, and then we'll have to slide the new caliper onto the cable. Alright, so here we got our new caliper. We're going to loosen up this little thing right here so we can get the cable in there. So thread it down through this hole right here, and then got to thread through this little piece here that holds the end of the cable. Alright, can you see what I did there? Get a shot of it. And then this bolt gets tightened to clamp down that cable. So I'm going to thread it kind of the whole way through until this little silver thing is down inside that. Keep it from going any further, and then we can tighten this here. We'll adjust later once we get things mounted onto the bike. We'll make that reasonably tight. Okay. Cable's through. I'm going to remove the little disc protector thingy. I'm going to use I'll use the new pieces and see if it works. So I think it would go like that. Ooh, man, there's not much. So I'm going to have to let some slack out of here. There we go. I got to pull it down a little bit. Alright, so let's grab one of our bolts. And I'm going to go like this and like this. And make sure the disc gets in between the pads there. Okay, we'll get this top one started. Okay, let's get the bottom one going. This is pretty easy. Is it really all this easy? Or you just clip this on here and bingo, you got brand new fancy brakes? I don't know. Something's gonna go wrong, I feel. Okay, so I noticed I did one thing wrong already. So we took it back off. These bolts are different lengths. So let me take this out of here. One's shorter and one's longer. The longer one goes on the top, so I had them backwards. It wasn't really working for me there. So let's put that back on again. Okay, now someone was asking me the other day, they said when they were putting their front wheel on, they kept having the problem of the discs, you know, the pads rubbing on the disc. And how do you get this adjusted so there's no, you know, so it's not rubbing on it constantly? And what I've heard, the way to do this is make sure these bolts here, these kind of let the caliper slide side to side. So you make sure these are loose and it can move, and then you grab the back brakes and pull them, which squeezes the pads on the disc, and then as it's sandwiched on the disc, you tighten up these bolts. And then the caliper's set in the right spot. And then when you get them all tight, you release the brake and it, you know, expands away from the disc. The pads expand away and it's lined up perfectly. So that's how I always install them. It should be set. So that one is installed. Just got to do the same thing on the back and we should be good to go. And I guess we can give it a test by just lifting it up and spinning it. Yep, perfectly free flowing, so that's good. Pretty good feeling in the lever. I'm liking it already. All right, the back one's a little bit tighter space to work in because you got the frame here, but we're just taking out these 2 bolts. That's the only thing that holds this caliper on here. Really easy process. I think about anybody could do this. This is a handy little tool to have for times like this where it's hard to get in places. You can see that. This allows you to angle the Allen wrench a little bit because it's got this groove cut in it. It's very helpful. Okay, let's put the new one on. Oh, we gotta take this piece off first though. All right, we got everything installed. I brought it out in the daylight here so you can see things a little bit better. They certainly look a lot nicer than the stock brake caliper, that's for sure. And again, here is exactly what I bought. I will link it in the description, of course, but it's Juin Tech R1 cable actuated hydraulic calipers. And you know, I did not use the 160 millimeter disc there that they gave me. I just kept the 180s on here. Maybe if you take out this spacer thing, maybe that's how you use the 160. I don't know. I didn't feel like pulling all the wheels off and changing that out, so we just left the original Magicycle disc on there. And I mean, they fit. I've had numerous people tell me in the comment section that the M1 also fit. So I can tell you the R1s fit. I got them on there and they work. The M1s apparently also work, so I don't think you can go wrong with either one. It sounds like they both work. And I just went out and rode it for, you know, 20 minutes or so, doing some nice long stops to try to bed in the brakes a little bit. And it's a noticeable difference. It really is. It's a lot smoother stopping. I don't know if it's drastically increased the stopping power and, you know, shortened the stopping distance. I don't know. I'm going to do a stop test up here to kind of illustrate, but the major benefits that I can tell you, you know, just from the short 20 minutes I rode the thing was quiet. They're so much quieter. They don't make any noise. There's no grinding, there's no squeaking, there's no rubbing. They're silent. It's a nice, when you pull the lever, it's a nice smooth application of the brake. No noise, brings you to a nice smooth even stop. I did actually clean the disc too after I put the things on. I used this brake cleaner I'll link it in the description for you, but I cleaned off the discs. They're certainly a lot better as far as the smoothness of the stop. It's silent. I like that about it. Those other ones the original ones were just so noisy. Now let me give you my notes actually from installing these. So the front one went super simple. I mean, you just do these 2 bolts, undo these 2 bolts and take the other one off and put this one on. No problem. That one went super easy. The back one is a little bit more challenging, and here's why. So you've got the frame in the way here to try to get, because your bolt's right here and right here. So trying to get an Allen wrench, you're hitting this bar. So, you know, it's a little bit more challenging to get with your area to work. Now, the second thing is, when I pulled off, there's these spacer things under the calipers, right? Like they look like this. So when I pulled the original caliper off, they have a fat end and a skinnier end. The fat end was up here on the original. So that's how I put this one on at first. And that wasn't right. It was locked up. You couldn't even spin the back wheel. So I kind of looked at the directions actually. And if you take this and flip it around and put the fat end down here, then it worked, and then it fit, and it worked perfectly. So I guess remember that the fat end where it says up, this piece is got to be here by the J. Just remember, put the fat piece by the J. It's the same on the front. The front one fitted identical. You know, the fat piece was up there by the J. Know that. Put the fatter piece of this adapter on the bottom. And the other thing was, when I took these bolts out and tried to put them back in, they didn't really want to thread in the whole way. I don't know if there was too much Loctite on them or something's thinner here, but they didn't want to thread into the holes the whole way. So you can see I added some extra washers in there just for spacing to snug it up and nice and tight. I didn't want to risk just, you know, cranking that screw in there and, you know, cross threading stuff. So I did add an extra few washers in here to get it to fit nicely on there. So that's my notes for you. I mean, it's a really simple install. Anybody can do this. If you can take out 2 Allen bolts, you'll be good to go. Let's go do the stop test. I'll show you what they look like side by side, if this thing stops any sooner or if it's just a nice smoother stop. So let's go do that now. All right, we're back. So the Juin Tech R1 calipers, do they fit? Yes, they work. Yes. Are they better than the stock brakes on the Magicycle? Yes, I would say they are. They are much smoother and they are much quieter. Do they dramatically decrease your stopping distance? I'll have to go back and check the footage, but I'm gonna say no. I don't know that they were a dramatic increase, that they shortened the stopping distance a ton. They certainly made the back tire skid a lot easier, so I think they do have more, you know, grabbing power. But I don't know the distance, how much it really decreased. It was definitely a nicer stop, a smoother stop, and a quieter stop. Here's the main question though. I just pulled out my phone a second ago to see what I paid for these things. 150 bucks is what these things cost. So, are they worth the money? That is the bigger question. I don't know. So, I think for that kind of money, you might be better off just going with a full hydraulic system, changing out the levers and the lines and everything, and getting full hydraulic brakes on the bike for that kind of money, right? I think this is your option if you don't want to do that. If you just want the simple fix, pop one caliper off, pop a new one on, you're done. I think this is your option. It does stop the bike a lot quieter and smoother, so I'll give it that. So I hope that you found some of this rambling helpful. Yes, they do fit. I'll link everything. Like I said, M1s or R1s I think fit on this bike. Hope you got something out of this video. Do me a favor, if you like stuff like this, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, and thank you so much for watching.